Holy cow, guys. What an episode of Raw. Raw 1000 is in the history books, and I'm going to say this. This was without question a fantastic show. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. But from top to bottom, every hour was enjoyable. We kicked off Raw with the DX reunion. I was really hoping to see every member of DX, and at first, it looked like it was just going to be Triple H and Shawn Michaels. But they surprised us all, and out comes X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Badass Billy Gunn. They did a great segment at the beginning of the show. It kicked it off with a bang. It was so awesome to see everybody in the ring together once again, doing all the great catchphrases. It was epic. I loved it. I could not complain. Next, Jim Ross comes out. He comes out and he commentates the six-man tag match pitting Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, and Sheamus against Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio. Now, let's be honest, this match wasn't all that, but the only purpose of this match was to continue the Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho feud, and it did just that. Ziggler got a little bit of revenge on Chris Jericho, causing him to get pinned, which resulted in Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, and Sheamus to win the match. Nothing bad about that. Now, we saw a funny segment backstage. You had AJ and who was it? AJ and Layla. That's right, Layla. Well, AJ's talking about how she's not the only crazy one. There's all kinds of crazy people out there. She opens the dressing room door, and there's Hacksaw Jim Duggan acting a fool. There's Rowdy Piper and R-Truth jumping rope with little Jimmy. And then out pops Mae Young and the hand. That's right, the hand that she birthed. That she birthed all those years ago. You know, Mark Henry and Mae Young, they had a funny segment way back in the day. She gave birth to a hand, and this was the adult hand. This shit was hilarious. We also got to see Dude Love. Brodus Clay comes out. He introduces Dude Love. Brodus Clay took on Jack Swagger. It was a squash match. Brodus Clay gets the win. It was great to see Dude Love. He can't really dance worth a shit, but it's all good. Then we got to see the Daniel Bryan and AJ wedding. I gotta say, you know, I knew the wedding wasn't gonna go the way it was supposed to go. But one of the biggest surprises was seeing Reverend Slick. He came out and he was the Reverend for the wedding. I loved it. I'm not sure if many of the people in the audience knew who he was. I sure as hell did. I was marking out. I thought it was great. Of course, Daniel Bryan and AJ, they do not get married. Vince McMahon comes out and he announces that AJ is the new Raw general manager. It was a shocker, I will say that. And you know, I'm not pissed off about that. I like the character that is AJ. I think she will make a very interesting Raw GM. And as for all as we know, she might not even last that long as the Raw GM. But anyways, Daniel Bryan basically gets stood up at the altar and they go to commercial. They come back from commercial. Daniel Bryan's still in the ring, pissed off. CM Punk comes out. He kind of pokes fun at Daniel Bryan. A little funny segment right there. And then Daniel Bryan starts talking about how he's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of all the wrestlers that have ever graced the squared circle on Monday Night Raw. And out comes The Rock. He doesn't want to hear anything about that. And he basically comes out to talk to CM Punk. He's like, guess what? I want another WWE Championship match, and I'm going to get one at the Royal Rumble. And I don't care who the WWE Champion is, I will face the WWE Champion at the Rumble. Of course, CM Punk goes on to say how it will be him. And you know what? I hope that CM Punk is the WWE Champion by the time the Royal Rumble comes around, because The Rock versus Punk will be a fantastic match. But anyways, Bret Hart comes out. He's a special ring announcer for the Intercontinental Champion match. Christian against The Miz. The Miz comes out the victor. He wins his first ever IC title. I thought it was great. The Miz is a champion once again, and hopefully The Miz can pick up some more steam and become relevant once again. Now we come to another great segment. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Triple H wants an answer. Will Brock Lesnar fight Triple H at SummerSlam? Paul Heyman comes out to basically give the answer to Triple H. He says, no, Brock Lesnar will not fight you at SummerSlam. Stephanie McMahon makes her way out. She rips Paul Heyman a new asshole, insults him left and right. Paul Heyman finally decides that yes, Brock will face Triple H. Then finally, Brock Lesnar himself comes out, and him and Triple H, they just go to town. They beat the shit out of each other. It was an awesome little brawl, and I really can't wait to see these two go at it at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, though, something tells me that Triple H is going to squash Brock. I just don't see Triple H laying down to Brock Lesnar. But anyways, that was a very enjoyable segment. We had Howard Finkel. He comes out and he introduces Heath Slater. Heath Slater, he's been beat by all of the great legends at the last, several weeks on Raw. Well, one more legend decides to come out and take on Heath Slater, and that legend happens to be none other than Lita. That's right, Lita. But she doesn't come alone. She brings the APA, the Acolyte Protection Agency. I was marking out. This was awesome. Heath Slater, he's like, I'm not having no part of this. He tries to get away, but all of the past legends that beat him all those weeks before, they keep him from running away. He gets back into the ring. Lita hits him with the Twist of Fate. Then Bradshaw hits him with the Clothesline from Hell, turns Heath Slater inside out, and then Lita hits him with the moonsault. He gets the 1, 2, 3. Lita wins the match, and wow, it was a very cool segment. I enjoyed the hell out of it. We got to see none other than Sean Mooney. Sean Mooney was a great interview guy way back in the early 90s of the WWE. He was there at the first Raw. He interviews Daniel Bryan. I loved it. Sean Mooney on the 1000th episode of Raw. How more epic is that? We got to see a cool catchphrase montage. That was pretty cool to watch. We were going to see Kane take on somebody, but Jinder Mahal comes out along with a bunch of other jabronis, and he starts talking about how out of all the 999 episodes of Raw, none of them had had a chance to shine. Well, it looked as if Kane was going to get jumped by 6 guys. Well, out comes his brother in arms, The Undertaker. That's right, The Undertaker makes his return since WrestleMania, since he went 20-0, his first time back since beating Triple H at WrestleMania. And the Brothers of Destruction, they reunite, they kick major ass, and it was a fucking great mark-out moment. I mean, the crowd was going ape shit for this moment, and I was too. And speaking of the crowd just did a fantastic job. This whole 3-hour show, it just made for a more enjoyable experience watching Raw. And finally, we get to the main event, John Cena and CM Punk, the WWE title on the line. John Cena cashing in the Money in the Bank. And I called this on my Money in the Bank review. I said that John Cena will probably be the first guy to not successfully cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. And he didn't win the title. He failed. He did not successfully cash the Money in the Bank briefcase in. He won the match, but he won the match by DQ. He did not get the championship. I was so happy. I wanted Punk to retain the title. He did just that. It looked as if, CM Punk was going to get the win 1, 2, 3, with the help of the Big Show, but he didn't want to go for the pin. He was like hesitant. It was like, how can I take a win like that? He took a lot of time. Cena kicks out by the time he decided to go for the pin. And as CM Punk was about ready to tap out after being put in the STF, Big Show comes back into the match. He interferes, causing CM Punk to get DQ'd, and thus keeping CM Punk the WWE Champion. Well, out comes The Rock. The Rock comes to save the day. He was beating up on the Big Show, but CM Punk blindsides The Rock and basically leaves The Rock laying in the ring. It was, I guess you would call this a heel turn, but CM Punk, he never really was a face, a good guy. He's always kind of been the rebel without a cause. But I guess you definitely could call this a heel turn because the crowd just turned on him like that. And I can definitely see the WWE, turning towards a Punk versus Rock match at the Royal Rumble. If that's the case, we're going to see CM Punk with the year-long title reign. Over a year long. And I tell you what, I am all for that. I don't care if Punk is heel. I don't care if he's face. I just want to see CM Punk have a long title reign. We haven't seen a year-long title reign in forever, and it looks as if the WWE is going to go that way. And I cannot wait to see Punk versus Rock at the Royal Rumble. My only complaint with this show, we didn't get a new WWE title. I mean, what's up with that? So it looks as if maybe the WWE has decided to redo the title that they leaked all those months ago. That picture that everybody was talking about. Well, we didn't see that new title, so maybe they're going to unveil it at a later date. But anyways, that was Raw. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great show. By the way, Charlie Sheen, he was supposed to be the social network ambassador. He didn't do shit. He was on Skype. I mean, hell, he wasn't even there. Big deal. He didn't really do anything for Raw, but overall, the show was great. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What did you like? What did you dislike? I'm Gold Dizzy. Peace out, everybody.